John Wyatt Earp for the sub.
Attila, that boar would have killed me had you not intervened. Pity that none will ever learn of your loyalty. Archers, attack!
Alright, so we're gonna go live on Onimaru again. Thank you for the well-timed sub. Let me knock and try to combine the chats again. Alright, good. You got the chats combined. Beautiful. So, Onimaru doing their third stream today. On here for the first time in your life, you've been subbed for 37 months. 37 months and you haven't even watched. First time in your life. So, Sea dos Corajas will be our next map. And let me just grab that name. Throw it on the scoreboard. And we can take a guess at what the civs are going to be, as this will be a very open map. Makes sense to me that Fire would pick the Islands map as his home map. He's a very experienced water player. Not sure as much, though, about the new water meta for him. If he's that experienced as he was in the past, he was the Masters of Islands winner. So, if we're just going live again on Onimaru, we are 1-0 into Kasva versus Fire. And we do have another set that should start in about 10 minutes. And we'll join that once we're done with this one. You missed the announcement. Seems like Tato has joined Onimaru. Oh, Tomate, thanks for using your Prime sub. See, sometimes it lags a bit before it shows me.
Bonjour, John. My colleague and I will escort you to the Chateau of the Dauphin, or else we will die trying.
Thank you very much, and we will have, maybe the obvious pick of Fire going for the Magyars here. And Kasva maybe trying to counter it with the Berbers. So thank you again, Tomate. Appreciate using your Prime sub. Appreciate the support. And also remember, we're back live on the Onimaru channel again. So go give them a follow if you haven't already. We'll see. I know a lot of their players are still playing, so I don't want to bug them while they're playing, but once some of them either qualify or get eliminated, we'll try to bring them on to co-cast. Why is no one playing it? Maybe it's a bit too strange for them. It's the one map I haven't seen. It's the first ban from everyone. Let me go check. Oh, we're up to 1,260 followers, so we've gotten quite a few follows since these past few days while we've been streaming on the Onimaru channel. So thank you all for the support, and I hope you're enjoying the Brazil-themed maps we have. Too much for you with the broken champions and the water changes. I know, it's rough. It's rough. I miss my AOC. Italians are still a new civ to me. And here we go. We will have Fire as the blue Magyars to the west, and Kasva as the red Berbers to the east. Potentially the Camel Civ as a counter to the Magyars. Magyars with their free forging upgrade, whether they want to open men-at-arms or scouts. Should be a strong civ for this map, very open. Have to find your wood lines. Oop, actually. Wait a minute. I'm gonna admin read this because it's bugged. And Fire doesn't have wood lines here. They're so close together they don't have wood lines. Let me try to find them. And if they don't respond to that, let me just hop into a voice call with Fire in a moment. Yeah, their players were so close together that their terrain spawned. And I didn't see this in testing, but I'll need to double check it. Let's see if they actually hear me. Let me just maybe mute the Discord here. Hop into a voice channel. I want to spook them by hopping into a voice channel, but if I don't see them pause in a moment, we'll hop into a voice channel with them. Have to admin while playing. If Arbase is still around, maybe Arbase could do that, so I don't need to hop into it on the stream. But yeah, there should be 5 woodlines per player, and they were so close that they combined and one was over here. Yeah, if Arbase... I tagged them, but they're 2 minutes ahead, so I don't know if they saw it. Yeah, if you could, that'd be wonderful. They were so close that their terrains combined, and now there are 4 woodlines for Cosfa and none for fire. So, shouldn't be an issue, just 2 scout civs doing a Dark Age. We'll just replay this. And it's something I'll note, and I'll make a note for myself to keep them farther apart in the map script in the future. This is to my list of bugs. Yeah, Arbase is there with fire, good. Thank you, Arbase. Everyone give us some flowers, put a round of applause in the chat for Arbase. Handling his admin duties as soon as he gets home. Really appreciate the maps in this tournament. I love maps that are based on real locations. There's a degree of immersion present in them. And Harry 2 is just gorgeous. I'm glad you like them, and I hope that the Brazil community appreciates them too. I say, yeah, because Fire has to go all the way out here for a woodline. That's much farther than he should have to go. So, Fire-base is there. Maybe Fire just tells him to keep going. We're going to okay, perfect. Yeah. Always hard to get the in time when it's a 9-vil start, but we caught that right away, so we will restart. Thank you very much, Arbase. Is there a way to programmatically fuzz test these? Not really. The one thing I can do is spam click the generate map button in the editor and test and visually test them on the minimap. Or sometimes even edit the map script to be very obvious when it's bugged so I can test them. There's no headless way to generate maps outside of the editor, though, without running the game. So there isn't really a great way to generate dozens and dozens of maps, or hundreds and hundreds of maps, which is kind of what I want. Yeah, 2 boars. 2 boars. But that was a woodline issue. Fire had to go to the 2nd tier for wood. So add that to my list of bugs to deal with tonight after the stream. We need to learn the maps properly again. We got the exact resources on them. We have a spreadsheet for that somewhere, I think. 2 tapirs, yeah. Should be the tapirs. Thanks, Arbase, for helping out with the adminning. That is the situation where I'm caster, admin, and map scripter all at the same time. But we catch that right away, and we'll restart it right away. I'll just make a caster announcement here. It's caster chat. Woodlines didn't generate properly. Asfa versus Fire Game 2 will be an admin restart. Don't know if anyone else is casting this at this hour, but we'll admin re. No big deal. Yeah, when we get back into the map, I can explain what's happening there. Let's see, are they in the game already? They're in the lobby still. Or let me see if that's a lobby. Yeah, we're not gonna let Fire play with Woodline that far away from his TC. That's a definite admin re. But I use the different elevations to separate the players and give specific woodlines per player. But because they were so close in the elevation in the middle combined, we ended up getting only 1 woodline per player. And that's the type of thing where I can test when I'm making 11 maps for a map pool. I can test several dozen, maybe several hundred generations of maps. But if it's a rare bug, I don't quite catch it all the time. Have I made these maps? Yep. The idea for this map originally was a map called Terrace by the Mad Catter, but I edited the script for this particular version. And again, thanks to the players for the patience to do an admin restart. And here we go, Berber's Magyars once more. I'll have a 2-minute spec delay and get right back into it. Terrace is a fun map. It's a really fun map. In general, Nikito, people are okay with editing each other's maps. No one ever puts, like, licensing information along with them. So, in general, we've been, for decades, just kind of editing the custom maps and reusing them from one tournament to another. I know personally, my maps, anyone can have at them. And I think most people are like that. There are a couple of exceptions where I've known someone who is more protective of their scripts. But in general, it's a lot of people who scripted maps many years ago sometimes aren't even around anymore. Can I stop making the capybaras killable? You have to blame the devs for that one. I didn't add the capybaras to the game. Alright, 10 seconds and we're back into it. Where they programmed in exclamation mark RMS if you want to see the guide. It's their own custom configuration file. Alright, so this is what it should be. So people were asking about what the admin rebug was. Each player should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood lines. Sometimes they spawn together. You might get a big wood line with 2 clumps together. But for the map, I use this ridge in the middle to separate the elevation for each player to ensure they each get 5 wood lines. Yeah, and here's an example of 2 of them that kind of spawn together. But the idea is that each player has their own wood lines, and on the previous map, if you saw, they were so close together that this ridge didn't spawn, and this elevation 1 terrain connected, so there were only 5 total wood lines on that level instead of 10. And Fire basically didn't have a nearby wood line. So now it's all good. Thank you, Fai Chanchu, for the follow. We'll have a few vills under the TC for Kasfa, under the TC for Fire, and here is Fire with a nice and properly placed wood line. Kasfa going to the back for his wood line. Fire also has a back wood line should he want it. And Berber's Magyars, as I said, in the Civ draft, pretty clear map pick for the Magyars. Or pretty clear to use the Civ of the Magyars on this map. And the Berbers might be an attempt at a counter pick. Camel Archer is pretty good against Magyar Cav Archers. Camel's good against the Magyar normal Cav. And Yo-Ye, thank you for the follow. And Magyars, at least in the Feudal Age, if you play this very heavily into Scouts, you could have a chance to try to overwhelm the Berbers early on. Because the Magyars, the Berbers, neither of them really with an eco upgrade. Recovering too slow, thank you for the follow. But the Magyars, at the very least, they have a discount for their Scouts, so extended Feudal play, I would favor the Magyars during the Feudal Age. Free foraging also helps early on if they maybe want to go Men-at-Arms instead of Scouts. When you get to the Castle Age, though, Berber Camels, if they're facing heavy Scouts, can be a pretty good counter to the Scouts. And it is a pretty open map, so getting to Camel Archers as a counter to Cav Archers might be difficult, especially with both of Kasfa's stones being forward. Did we make a spreadsheet like for TTL? I don't know, did we? We might not have. If we didn't, then we probably should this weekend. Let me double check my pings. Again, why was the other map restarted? Wood lines did not spawn properly. Fire had to go not to this level, but to the next level for wood, and that was too far away. So wood lines simply didn't spawn properly. So interesting build from Fire. Forward barracks, long distance mining gold. And some militia along with the Vil will be coming forward. So maybe he had taken Magyars, initially planning to go scouts, and is calling an audible, changing that up, now that he sees Berbers as the pick, and will instead be going for men-at-arms. You'll see that Kasva has a back wood line. Kasva also pushing his deer. Both will get Feudal around the same time, but even then, Fire would be the one preferring to fight with the scout. He would have the free forging. Probably not going to pick a Vil when there are so many together on the wood line. Maybe could on the berries. An immediate tower on the wood line. Immediate tower. And Fire wouldn't mind fighting the scout here. He's looking for a hill. Men-at-arms and Vil forward. Immediate man-at-arms upgrade from Fire. Kasva using the backwood. Fire trying to be as aggressive as he possibly can with that forward barracks. No follow-up building yet for him, because the follow-up building is forward. There is an archery range for Fire. And as he sees the towers on the wood line, he will be able to hit the berries. And keep Kasva off of the berries. And maybe even off of the gold if he goes archers. And Town Watch on the way for Fire. He'll get a house up in the back. Let's see if the men-at-arms maybe can find that villager. Careful that they don't get walled in if they go down there, though. And that's kind of a risk. You sacrifice one Vil, but then get a quick wall to trap the men-at-arms. Scout's still running around the tower. And feels like a very defensive build now from Kasva, going for the archery range. And ooh, gets a poke on the scout. Gets a poke on the scout Fire. Not quite microing properly there. Over here, Kasva just leaving his scout out there, not doing anything with it. Fire has walled the wood line, needs to be careful to get another palisade up, make sure it's fully walled. And there's the tower. There is the tower rush from Fire, right outside the line of sight of Kasva. This tower will hit some of the gold, will hit the berries. So very nice tower. When fletching comes in, it will essentially cover all of the gold. Only one side of one tile will be out there. And oh, Kasva, he doesn't see any of this. He doesn't see any of this. He's thinking, oh, I'll wall up to the edge of the map. No, Fire's already in. Fire's already in. He has the forward range, making some skirms. He has an archer there. And he'll collect all the men-at-arms over here soon. That is a nasty tower just outside Kasva's line of sight. And he can see the Vil now. He can see the Vil now. Now he sees it. Now he knows it's there. House there from Fire, so you can even delete that eventually if you needed a hole. And yeah, Kasva has to run. Another house going up for Fire. And oh, a couple of predator animals dragged over by Kasva. That gives Fire some more time. He's going to be a bit late going for his own tower, though. These archers do have fletching. Fire just going to send all the Vils to fight as he tries to get the tower up. We'll save a Vil. A bit of idle time here. Ooh, losing a Vil there. She might have gotten downhill. Oh, that Vil has to dance. Nice job to save the Vil. Fighting against the archers at the same time. His archers are forward, just outside the firing range of the TC. Kasva's idling all of his Vils while still being chased by Fire. And chased back into the TC as the Vils almost finish the tower. That'll be another Vil down. So 3-0 Eco KD for Kasva, 4-0 Eco KD for Kasva. But the tower goes up, and Kasva himself is idled quite a bit. Double bit axe for Fire. And a few Vils on the mining camp on the gold for Kasva. And stone mine being taken there from Fire. YouTube stream. I'll do the YouTube stream again tomorrow. I'm on the Onamaru YouTube now if you want to check that out. So we are somewhere on YouTube. So Vil goes down to the scout. And Archer being... Oh, Archer's killing another Vil. That's a 6-0 Vil KD. Kosva's Archers being very effective. And Kosva, the immediate tower on the wood line, saved him this game. Immediate tower versus Fire delaying the tower is the difference in Vils. And the fact that this gold is covered by the tower, too. So interesting, I mean, Fire could have done something similar, but I think the lumber camp might have needed to be on this side. So imagine Fire's base, lumber camp here, mining camp eventually here, and tower over here. Then it looks exactly like Kosva's base and is much safer. Did Doubt win? Yes, Doubt did win. And Skirm taking out some archers here. Archers just about killed. Another scout. It's the Skirm. And the Skirm is down. Skirm is down. The spear pokes down the scout. And the archer will come over to the Vils by the gold. He had Celts, of course he won. Our base, defender of the Celts. And now Kosva deciding he's going to rush the tower that was partially stone wall, but he's sending all the Vils. There are only one forward Vil, so he'll take the tower but won't get much from it. He'll clear his berries at least. And he's ahead by over 1,000 resources collected, so it looks like he's in a pretty good spot on this map. The villain Skirm will pop out. Celts best civ. Chat's a fan of the Celts. Y'all need to go play some more William Wallace. Really enjoy the Celts. Some more farms for Fire around the TC. Watchtower going up for Fire. Another tower, but it feels like this game simply came down to very small lumber camp and tower positionings from Kosva. And now it's 42-31. That does feel pretty insurmountable, and it does feel like he's about to go up to the next stage too. If he had a market, he could buy his way up now. Might not even need the market with 21 farms. Could be a simple idle the TC for a Vil or two and then go up situation. He does have 2 buildings, so he's fine to click once he has the food. And once he's up, of course, there we go. Buying 200 food for 300 gold, and he is up. He's up. There is the market in the back. Up to the Castle Age. And considering Fire's eco count, might even be a Castle Age GG. Again, it's just really small differences in how the Feudal Age is managed that can lead to these huge differences in overall eco count. I mean, early tower preventing early damage versus late tower taking early damage. And that decides the game. And give Celts gunpowder if they weren't so strong. Gunpowder certainly would change the Celts, that's for sure. And small group of skirms here in the back. Castle Age, Scale, Barding Armor, both for Kosva. And if he's adding the stables, looks like it'll be a change for Knights. Fire probably recognizing the situation, going all in right now with forward Vils, hoping that he can keep Kosva in the Feudal Age and do some damage. His last hope is that the Castle Age was so expensive, Kosva won't be able to defend this, but not going to be the case. The stable goes up, 1 or 2 Knights, cheap Berber Knights come out, and I think that would end the game if Fire doesn't call the GG already. So there's Castle Age, and yeah, there's the GG. Kosva goes up 2-0. Fire. He called the GG in game. Don't worry, don't worry. Everyone always asks that. Capture Age doesn't show the post-resign chat. So 17-11 KD for Kosva. 2k res collected lead. And GG for him. And so I wonder if we'll see the Islands map for game number 3. And for civs... Well, that's Vikings on the Islands map. That feels pretty darn good of a civ pick for Kasva. Although Malay or Wu could be a play. Maybe Aztecs for an aggressive landing. Lithuanians for a Dark Age Drush. Let's see what map Fire picks. I imagine it would be his other home map. Because Lobo has started. What do you want to see, chat? If this is indeed a water map, do we want to watch the water map? Let's see what they pick. Because we also have Tur's Lobo going on at the same time. I think that will definitely be the final set that I cast tonight. Whenever we join it. Spare us the water map. Let's see what they pick. Let's see what they pick. Kasva's in the lobby. Let's see where Fire is. Go Turs. Danny boating alert. You want the boating map? Well, I mean, they might not pick a boating map. They might go Araucarias or Linsoy Mariensis. Maybe they have some boating or fishing at least. Not a pure boating map. Okay, I still see Kasva in the lobby. We're waiting for a Fire. Oh, there he is. And let's just see what map they pick. Kind of want to see more of the new water. You hate it, but you still want to learn it more. I really enjoyed water back in the galley days. I do question the new water a bit. I still have the previous map picked. I don't really like abandoning a set partway through, but if we go to Turs, maybe we do want to go to Lobo versus Turs. Oh, they're talking about their strats from the last game. And talking about how they kind of changed strats after the restart. Okay, looks like they're going. Needs to be a Volpine-like map where there's a Gaia Fattori in the middle that needs to be converted to get ownership. Call it T90. Did T90 like the Volpine map? He was probably just worried about the foxes. I think T90 needs to cast Fox Nothing. Yeah, as Arbase says. He might not have liked it, but he definitely had a lot to say about it. Okay, let's see. Are they picking their map? They're still not picking their map. And they're still on the previous map. Okay, Kaspa asking for the map. Getting the play-by-play of the chat while they're chatting. Maybe we should have just gone Lobo Turs. I think Fire is going to think about his map pick quite a bit. I mean, if he wants to win the set, he could always save the... Okay, yeah, he's going to pick Linsori Mariensis, so we'll stick with this. We'll stick with this. I don't like abandoning a set halfway through. So he's not picking the water map. We're safe, chat. We're safe. Our base wants Turs. We'll get to Turs after this. Don't worry. Maybe this goes 5 games and Turs sweeps and we cast the Rex. Don't you worry, our base. We'll get Turs. I know you didn't get enough Turs in London. But yeah, so they're just having a discussion about the strategy we went for. Fire was asking Kaspa why he knew to do the tower immediately, and Kaspa was just like, I had a good map and I felt the men-at-arms coming. Oh, you met him in the British Museum, nice. Yeah, maybe Turs loses and we're saved from watching them lose. Alright, and so is Mariensis as our next map. And once again, thank you everyone watching over on the Onimaru channel too. Trying to get some followers and grow that as best we can, so thank you all for giving them a follow. And also thanks to Akame for making the backgrounds we have for the stream. Lovely animated background with the Onimaru flag on that tower. I'm not sure if running is allowed in the British Museum. Good one, good one. I appreciate that pun. No running in the museum. So here, Kaspa will be the Kitans, and Fire will be the Wu. They swapped colors, but I'll swap them back and keep them as red for Kaspa and blue for Fire. Must have swapped hosts. And 5 seconds, and we'll be in 3, 2, 1, 0. Loading in. And yeah, I know Red Bull had the opposite colors. Here we are. We'll get the colors correct this time. And we'll have Fire as the red Wu to the southwest and Kaspa as the blue Kitans to the northeast. I'm surprised no one noticed that, because it happened during AoE 4. And it would have been pretty nice just to have them swap colors for AoE 2, because players can play team colors anyway. But Linsori's Mariensis, we have these ponds with small numbers of shorefish, 4 shorefish each. They're all shallows, you can dock them, you can walk across them, and you can come all the way out here for a dock on the big fish. For the most part, we see players sending a Vil out early to dock. We have seen a few instances, though, where players don't dock and just try to play land only. And here it does look like both players will dock. No loom, both sending a loomless Vil. And you also want to pick up as many goats as you can on the way out. There's Observer set colors, so that was kind of weird. Lyra usually is a player who changes his color every game. As much as possible, I do like keeping the in-game player colors. I do think red versus blue gets a bit repetitive. I like it when it's part of the personality that the players pick their colors. And so forward dock here from fire. We'll get it right by the fish and has a nearby whale too. And Kosovo will be forward too. Wait, did I swap the colors properly? Kosovo was red in the previous set, in the previous game, wasn't he? Wait, let me swap the color. I was talking about the colors and I got it backwards again. There we go. As long as it's consistent during the set. There we go. Okay. Now I'm not confused anymore. Fire is the blue woo. I swapped them in my overlay instead of keeping the overlay and swapping them in-game. Now I got it right. So fire is the blue woo, Kosovo is the red Khitans. Sorry for getting that mixed up. Now they're the same color as they were the previous game. So fishing ship immediately for Kosovo, fishing ships for fire. He'll get the fishing ships out just a bit faster. Kosovo up 2-0. And Kosovo doing what he can to pick up the goats. And tuna being collected here from Kosovo. And ooh, fire running into the TC. Trying to steal some goats, but Kosovo will get them back. Ooh. I mean, the TCs are fairly consistently in the same location on this map. It's rough to run into it like that. And there goes his scout. At the very least, though, he did get the dock up before losing the scout. So it's not like he lost the scout and then the Vil going to do the dock got jumped. But with all the neutral goats on the map that he's not going to find now, that is rough. And he has to worry about running out of food under the TC. Whereas Kosovo has quite a few goats left over remaining. I think there's even a few up there. Also, Capybara, I didn't look. Yeah, he's got 7 goats. So things looking pretty good for Kosovo so far. He can even delay the pastures with the goats and focus on the water more. So more houses going up for fire. And it's so important to keep your scout alive on all maps, but especially maps where there are neutral herdables. I think that's something players need to pick up on a bit more throughout, from what I've seen. The usage of scouts to collect the herdables. How are we pronouncing Linsori Mariensis? That is the map I think my pronunciation is the best on. And thank you, Andy, for the follow. And hello, Citrus. And hello, Lecco. Fair enough. Yeah, this is, Linsori Mariensis is I don't want to call it a desert because it gets too much rainfall to be a desert, but it's a area in northeastern Brazil where the sand dunes are filled with rain during the rain season and make these little puddles or ponds that go about 10 feet deep. How do the Chinese work in this format? They still get their +3 vils, but they start with negative food. It's every civ gets 9 vils, and then if you get an extra vil at the TC, like you're the Chinese or the Maya, you still get that extra vil. The Incas still get their llama, too. So the Chinese get 3 vils, they start with 12, but they start with -100 food, and since they usually start with 0 food, that's a -100 food, and they can't build anything. They can't train anything that costs food until they actually gather back up to a positive number of food, and then gather even more. So right now, we can only make changes that apply to all civs. We can't make civ-specific changes. So the Chinese fall victim of the negative food, which in all the spaghetti code we have, AoE 2 actually does support negative food. So spear poking the villager. And it's a Hulk opening. Hulk opening when they're so close. I think that there is room to go galleys on this map. Well, you are kind of opening with a game of rock, paper, scissors of which ship you and your opponents do. You have negative food in your fridge. So it looks like Kosovo tried to wall in Fire's Dockville And fire will go some spears. On the other side, fire poking at Kosva's TC. Kosva doing the blacksmith and forging. Forging right away gives +1 melee attack, and it applies to hulks. A spear poking the houses here. Forging just about finished. And forging coming in for fire, but a bit slower. And we'll see if the Hulk fight is engaged now before forging. Lensois Mariniensis. It's actually, I think, one of the easier ones for an English speaker. All of the sounds in the name, at least, exist in English. But that's also because I saw a nature documentary and I heard the pronunciation. So, I had a bit of a cheat for that one. So Nia's, why he make the +1? No, he did it for the Hulks. Hulks also get the +1. But, yeah, so it used to work. Both players immediately went for the +1. The problem with the +1, and what Niaz is pointing out there is, let's see. He gets, wait, how do they get +2? Why does Cosmo have +2 on the Hulk? Oh, because he's Catans, right, because he's Catans, yeah. So, how it works is the Hulks have 4 melee armor, and 4 melee attack. So when you do +1 in the Feudal Age, as we have a couple of demos, it doesn't actually matter to the Hulks, because they're still doing 1 damage. Instead of doing the minimum of 1 damage, they're now doing 1 actual damage, but all in all, it's still 1. Since the Catans get double the blacksmith, or double the benefit from the blacksmith attack upgrades, they get +2. And so since Kosva gets +2, he actually does do an extra damage from forging. So, yeah. So the forging here, as the demo hits, does apply only to the pikemen, really, in this situation. Yeah, the Hulks get +1, but the +1 isn't enough to give them an extra attack. I think the stats were a bit different during the Thalassocracy tournament, so it actually did matter. But Hulk versus Hulk in Feudal Age, unless you're the Catans, or maybe some other civ, but I'm not aware of any, it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, exactly. So Catan Hulk are OP. Yeah, faster killing fish, that's true. Faster killing fish, but Hulk versus Hulk, it doesn't matter. And I think it probably matters against other ships too. I don't know the actual stats, but Hulk versus Hulk, let's see. Yeah, so it would matter against the Fires. You would kill the Fires faster. They have only 1 melee armor. But he was clearly doing it for a Hulk versus Hulk fight, where it didn't matter for him, but it did for Kosva. So trying to go Hulk versus Hulk doesn't actually help out here with doing forging. Yeah, he's just getting ready for iron casting. I'm not sure how the Castle Age stats work when they get War Hulk. I need to brush up on all the numbers again. Does it matter? It does matter if you go up in age, you get War Hulk, and you're fighting War Hulk versus Feudal Age Hulk, yes. War Hulk versus War Hulk, I'm not sure if forging itself is enough, or if forging plus iron casting is enough. I think it's forging plus iron casting gives you an extra attack, because I think it's 1 more melee armor for the War Hulk. So probably 1 more normal attack, 1 more melee armor. And then the +1 attack has the same effect, but +2 matters. I'll need to double check that, though. There are so many stats for the new ships that I don't have them memorized yet. But Tower Rush from Fire on the land, so maybe forging will actually matter for the pikemen if they can fight villagers. And he's trying to stop Kosva from making pastures, and still is going for Hulks on the water. But Kosva's able to get a good number of fishing ships out, 9 fishing ships now. Fire's still fishing. He is 4 fishing ships himself, so he's not completely taken off of the water. Trying to do a few demos. Okay, so +2 still doesn't change it. Interesting. I'll need to go double check all the stats at some point. So demolition raft here for fire. And how well will the demo do? Kind of a waste there on only one Hulk. And it's pure Hulks now for Kasva, and I guess that makes sense as the Catans, because you have all that extra attack. That actually matters. Fire, though, pushing in. Spear is poking the house. And we'll have another house going up for Kasva. Firewalling everything in, trying to do more towers. And is this an example of Kasva over-investing on the water and not investing enough into defense on land? I mean, he has 7 vills outside mining stone, and he's towered the stone. So at some point he can maybe do a tower defense, but Fire's looking to take him off a ward, and Kasva's gonna YOLO all the vills. This is Niaz's game all over again. We're gonna have a huge villager fight. He doesn't want Fire to get the tower up, and that tower's at 93%. The tower goes up and Fire can garrison vills. And do the towers range each other? No, they don't, because there's no fletching in for Kasva. There is fletching for Fire. So, if that range is right against the edge, I don't know if you can hit it or not. But another lumber camp for Kasva. I hate that lumber camp, he just walled himself in. I think you need to go a couple tiles deeper into the forest. Maybe he can walk around this way. He's trying to do another tower. Chased by Fire's men-at-arms on the outside. Those are some low HP vills. He does have the water control, does Kasva, but now he's losing his wood line. Control of the wood line is receding. Fire getting some great value from his army. Almost gets the scout, too. Don't think he is quite aware of Kasva's presence on the stone. Kasva's getting really close to going up, though, but then so is Fire. So Kasva clicks up first. Fire not too far away himself. With a market, he'd be up. Doesn't have the market yet, though. Trying to just click up himself. Might need to idle the TC a bit to make sure he goes up. He is off of water, though. He has lost his dock. All the Hulks there from Kasva did it. And now we'll have a tower going up on the gold for Fire. Fire, does he have the buildings? Oh, he does not have the buildings. He needs the market. He was trying to go up without the market, but he needed the market to go up. Didn't have a range. And he's floating 700 gold now. So at least he'll be able to buy stuff at the market. And Stonewall from Kasva doing what he can to keep the wood line safe. He is fully walled over here. These wood lines will be kind of random and crazy. Another house up for Kasva. And Castle Age 1 minute later for Fire. This is where you gotta channel your inner doubt and do the earlier market, and your Castle Age timing's better. It is, though, very, very tricky to figure out how to get the eco set up properly when you are pushed off of water. But that's also something Fire should be very good at from all those days playing the Galley Wars. And what is this? Kasva's on the stone. Game 1, Phosphoro said Kasva should have gone forward for the castle. This time he's going forward for the castle. Will Fire have some vills? Will he do some anti-castle houses? Does he see this? He's fighting the spear. Oh, there's the castle. Now he sees it. Now he sees it. Doesn't have the stone for a tower. Look at all that food and gold he's floating. Doesn't have army yet. It's a situation he could have done maybe 2 stables and gone... What do the Wu have? Huiguang Cav? Yep. But not going to be in time. He's not up yet. And there we go. Fire's not up. The castle's forward. Kasva, he's just doing a pasture. Do something with the vills. He will attack the TC. He's going to hope he can deny Castle Age, but that's not going to happen. Castle will be there. Fire will immediately do Town Watch. He was doing petards. I think he should cancel them now. Just, if Fire is in the Castle Age, you don't need to YOLO the TC. Yep, and Liao Dao's. The infantry unit, I don't see much of. But here we go. Fire is going for extra town centers, trying to have a spread out economy. So right now, Kasva somehow, some way, hanging on to his wood line. Fire migrating for more TCs. Doing a mining camp on the gold. Do they beat Jian Swordsman? I think so. Jian Swordsman count as shock infantry, and these, the Liao Dao's do a +2 against shock infantry. So I'm pretty sure they would win. Oh, there's a sneaky tower from Fire, doing everything he can to stop Kasva from taking wood. He's got towers everywhere, so Kasva's going to send the vills. He will send the Vills to fight the towers, delete the wall. A Jian swordsman will be there to fight the Vills. And Kasva says, nope, I'm getting back to my TC. More Jian swordsmen raiding his Vills at the front. Scores are still neck and neck, but the good thing for Kasva is he has 13 fishing ships. He's down by 13 Vills, but the fishing ships are helping to make up for that. And Fire now booming away on more TCs. They beat every single unit in Castle Age and Melee, even a Cataphract? Oh, Fire losing some Vills now. Or a Jaguar Warrior, or a Samurai? Or a Teutonic Knight? Even those? They are pretty strong with the bleed damage. Destroy just about any melee unit. Okay. Well, good thing Fire has a non-melee unit in the Cav Archer. They also... is it the bleed damage or do they slow things down? This is the bleed damage. The White Feather Guards are the ones that slow things down. They trade about evenly with Persian War Elephants? What? In cost effectiveness or actual 1v1? I can't imagine that in 1v1. They're kind of hilariously broken. They're really that broken. I guess the bleed damage is that strong. Only slaughtering the Vills. So neither player has a base anymore. I mean, everything on the minimap is just blinking. I don't even know where to look. Cav Archers are now raiding Kasva's pasture Vills that were forward. He made a nice square of pastures, which is absolutely lovely. And he's heavily mining stone because he wants another castle. So if he could drop the castle here, that'd probably be GG. If he could drop the castle here, then maybe he stops Fire from taking wood and it's also GG. Hey, 1v1 the War Elephants easy? Now that I don't believe. I mean, what's that channel? The Mike Empires video of Liao Dao versus every unique unit. Okay, so Vil's out there. I don't know what they were even building. Was that a TC? Oh, they were running. They're running back. Kasva has the stone for a castle. And he still has fish. Is Fire okay, or is he dead? Are they both dead? Fire still actually has more villagers. Castle by the TC. That'll help clean up these towers. And help Kasva get back to his wood. Vil's garrison in the TC should deal with the spears. The forging for the spears helping them kill the Vills. 9 hours and still going strong. Yes, G-Grady. A long stream today. Oh, see, whose towers are these? Those are 4 of Fire's towers. And anyone who plays Tariq 1 knows Fire towers are very, very dangerous. And the towers do range the Vills trying to construct the castle. But if the castle goes up, it will clear these 3 towers. Cav Archer's coming over, though, 2 for Fire. Does this castle go up? If this goes up, this is amazing for Kasva. This is exactly where he needs a castle. And there it is. He's going to focus first the Cav Archers, nice and squishy. And then hope maybe the tower can finish them off. There goes another one. And now he's going to clear 3 towers. And then he can go back to wood, defended by his towers. Meanwhile, Fire's booming up. He has some more TCs. Kasva might need to start adding fish traps at some point, but I guess he doesn't really have much wood access to do that with right now. Oh, is he still making them? I assumed he was. I haven't actually watched them myself, though. Seems like the type of thing you could pump out pretty well. So, Cav Archer's there. We're gonna have a castle drop from Fire. Counter castle drop. Alright, Kasva invested into pastures, had been mining the stone, was trying to chop wood in the middle of the map. What does he do? Go steal farms from Fire? Do Catan Vills even know how to use farms after spending their lives on pastures? Kasva probably needs to target this castle. Kasva, when he did that castle drop, probably thought he was super far ahead. But now the TC for Kasva, that might clean up the next tower from Fire. And Bodkin for Fire, only fletching for Kasva, so I think there's a tower range issue here where Fire hits these towers, but Kasva can't fight back. Tower's just attacking the house instead. Town center attacking the tower. And the tower will go down. So, fire, he's not done though. He's got another tower going up. He's got another tower. So Kasva has wood access now, if but through a TC that's threatened by cav archers. But this is walled off enough that it should be okay for him to take wood. Neither of these civs can do much about these castles at this point other than letting them fight each other. Although fire archers from fire, if there's one player who can make fire archers, it's gotta be fire. That archer was somehow behind the graphics there, now really is behind the graphics. Shooting this castle. And what's over here? Cav archers around the coastline, trying to stop the fishing ships from working if they can. Fire's got a lumber camp up here, because why not? He's got outposts everywhere. What is Fire's map scouting? Oh, look at that vision from Fire. He sees literally everything. Kasva's still with a score lead that might be influenced by the water and the fish. He's taking gold from the whales. There aren't many fish left. And Fire's lumber camp out here in the middle of nowhere. Peak Age of Empires. Kasva deciding, let's go douche the wood line. There are lumber camps there. He'll have to move the TC. Fire may be doing a panic house or an anti-TC house. There's guard tower. That TC has to go up quickly because Fire's cav archers are coming over. There's the Liao Dao over there. He's going for another TC. He has lumber camp vills there, but he brought the cav archers over. One Liao Dao, he might beat everything. He might beat war elephants, but he won't beat cav archers, I don't think. And panic TC, how many vills will go down here for Kasva? There's one down. There are a lot of... Look at all the weak vills. Fire is bringing the vills to fight. He could kill all of them. That TC, 68%. That's not going up, is it? That's not going up. The vills in the back for Fire. As vills go down, it'll build more slowly. It's 94%, 98%, and it goes up. It goes up. And now, Kasva has all the wood control on the map. I guess Fire has a guard tower there, trying to stop the TC, going guard tower to win the tower fight. This lumber camp is probably the most secure wood on the map. Wano Siege or Rams for Kasva? He doesn't have a workshop. It's hard to afford when he doesn't have wood. Fire has been trushing his wood line the whole game. Fire has a forward university doing ballistics. Forward university, the most amazing building there is. Fire will keep doing towers. Those Wu towers, trying to keep Kasva off of wood. At this point, soon everyone will have towered or TC'd the wood line to the point where no one can take wood. Fire grabbing the wood from those trees. And needs to garrison in the TC. Ooh, Kasva not realizing. There he goes. So 62 vills to 36 vills, 21 fishing ships, all that's keeping Kasva alive. I think Kasva's gonna run out of fish soon. I think he's gonna run out of fish soon. As the cav archers chase Fire away. There we go. We'll have a few archery ranges still going up. And a pasture for Kasva. A few more pastures here. Just finding any looking cranny he can to build a pasture. Downside of pasture is even though they are more space efficient, you can't fit as many in this tiny area in the wood line as you could farms. And so is this TC kind of useless now with cav archers on one side and a tower on the other side? Fire taking the score lead, and I think he has this because Kasva's score is still being inflated by water. I think we're going to a game number 4. I think Terz's set is going to have to wait. A little limiting factor. 9-hour stream, that is something. The limiting factor of the stream is the fact I need to fix map bugs. Our base disappointed in the lack of Terz. And Insta Goddess, thank you for the follow. Great game, great game. Glad we stayed. Glad we stayed. Terz is just gonna have to wait for this game to end. Murder holes, bloodlines for Fire. This map has given us some really great games. It's kind of like Coast to Mountain, but a bit more open, I feel. Can the Hulks hit that tower? Oh, they can range it, but I think the tower wins. Towers usually wreck ships. Oh yeah, that tower is great for Fire. And Fire can start maybe towering the docks to stop the fishing ships. That's what he's doing over here. Is that castle dropping anytime soon with the fire archers? What do we have here? Fire has 8 fire archers, and they're all fired up as they're about actually to destroy a building. This might be the first time in history that fire archers are able to destroy a building. That castle's losing HP. It also has a castle shooting at it. Brave Vil, dodging some castle fire, knowing the castle doesn't have ballistics, and the castle will go down. The castle will crumble, and I think the hopes for Kosva in this game are crumbling too. Can dock garrison fishing ships and take out the tower? I don't know what wins between a dock and a guard tower. That is a good question. Docks don't have bonus attack against buildings. Towers do, so I guess the tower would probably still win. Maybe you have 2 or 3 docks. I think Fire has this. Okay, now the Fire Archers can take out this TC. We're going to have a Watchtower for Kosva. Does Kosva, what does he get? He could do Guard Tower. Did Fire get Murder Holes? He did get Murder Holes. Needs Treadmill Cranes still. Needs Masonry for the towers. Build them faster. Give them more HP. Do all the tower upgrades. Cav Archers going down. Fire Archers killing some Cav Archers. And building a tower. Oh, this is sad too. This is sad too, not microing your Cav Archers. Running your Cav Archers under a tower when you do micro them. And Fire takes it, he gets a win. What a crazy game, but that's the type of game I think is kind of typical of this map. I'm sorry, Mariniensis, Fire gets on the scoreboard. 122 to 76 KD. And GG, maybe starting a reverse sweep against Kosva. I felt like Kosva won the water, but again, winning the water doesn't win the game on this map when you can have all the fishing ships you want. Doesn't matter if you lose the land. GG. And Sois Mariniensis goes to Fire, picking his opponent's home map and doing so wisely. Ooh, OP. I still think that's going to be a Japanese map, but well done from Fire. We'll need to realize about the Hulk upgrades. But Kosva's turn to pick the next map. Remind me to keep Fire in the blue and Kosva in the red, and it will be Araucarias. Let's see if it has the best Hulks. Maybe the Catans? Maybe the Portuguese with more HP? Shouldn't Wei beat all but Vikings? Yeah, Catans are the only civ that get with the double blacksmith upgrade, more attack and feudal. But also kind of a risk to use them on water maps because you're not benefiting as much from the pastures. Portuguese band? Vikings, I almost am sure have the best navy now. Still with the longboats. And the discount. Koreans may be really good too. Also the wood discount, which matters the most. It will indeed be Araucarias. And, ooh, Maya for Kosva, Lithuanians for Fire. So this map, in some ways inspired by Black Forest. There'll be 3 tunnels with 3 javelinas each, and right at the start of the game, players will fight over them. So the extra Vil and instant loom for the Maya feels good for Kosva. The extra food at the start for Fire is great to keep the TC running if he's fighting over the javelinas. the reworked turtle ships, actually. I've seen them get wrecked, honestly. But I've also seen them win, so I don't have a good feeling on them. What I don't have a good feeling on is how unique ships, like the longboats, the caravels, the turtles, actually fit in with now the changed, reworked triangle of Galley, Fire, Hulk. Longboats melt hulks. I'm not sure where turtles are good. And because the Koreans have such a good wood discount on the rest of their ships, I'm not sure where it's actually valuable to go hulks over the other cheaper ships. Struggle versus Galley, they destroy the rest. And hello, Tofu. How's Fire doing so far? Well, 1 and 2 against Kasva. Had a crazy game number 3 that he managed to pull out. And if he wins this game, he does have the Islands map as his home map. Fernando de Naranja. And he is a very good water map player, so I think he does actually have a pretty decent shot at the reverse sweep, but has to get through this one. Demos. Oh, I miss demos. Making me sad mentioning demos. And here we are, Will of Fire as the blue Lithuanians to the west, Kasva as the red Maya to the east. Initially, the Maya going to click Loom right off the bat. And Fire says, oh, Fire not going to the middle. He's going to the sides. He's being a bit tricky. He's being tricky here. Vil to the middle, but a late Vil. Kasva a bit hesitant with the forward scout to take the middle boars, the middle javelinas. Loom for Fire. Scout needs a hill bonus to fight the eagle in the Dark Age. And 3 javelinas taken by Kasva. So Fire just saying, I'll build a house in the middle, why not? I'll send a Vil here. Where's this Vil going? Oh, that's a mistake by me. There's beach terrain there instead of ice terrain. Need to fix that. Let me make a, that's not an admin re, but it is a T-West makes a note for himself. And Fire versus Kasva. Beach terrain on pond. There. I'm not gonna let my maps be marred by some beach terrain like that. So Fire, ooh, he's gonna see the beach terrain and he's like, oh no, this map is bugged, I need to run away. Why there randomly appears beach? So the terrain that's by the pond on the shoreline is determined by whether snow or grass or some other terrain is by the edge of the water. If it's snow, it's ice. If it's grass, it's beach. But when I start mixing and layering the grass and the snow on top of each other, the layered terrain got near the shoreline. So I just need to make sure I'm setting the beach terrain correctly. Because you can also change the beach terrain, but if I set the terrain without changing it properly, then it gets messed up. Oh no, a beach. So here we have 3 more javelinas lured in from Kasva. He got the 3 in the middle, he got the 3 in the north. Fire is getting 2 of the 3 from the south. So difficult map to play, but we have seen players win by emphasizing the early fish. And that's something the Lithuanians can do, taking wood early. And emphasizing the fish boom with an early lumber camp. That Vil on the bottom was just a bit of a scouting walk there. I should be able to get a couple of boars. This is the type of map that the Rage Forest players will really benefit from, because they know how to do the lures.
Shot it.
So Javelina lured in. Ooh, Fire could block. Fire could block. This is where you kind of do a combo of blocking and attacking. The Vil Scout will be forced away. You want the Javelina to attack the Vil rather than the Scout because it does more damage, and Fire stops the lure. Nicely done. Only took 1 hit on the Scout. So well done for Fire. Kasva will send the Vil all the way out and back for nothing. Forward house for Kasva. Oh, is Fire going to take that? That's a long walk for 1 Vil. Fire's up to the Feudal Age. There you go, sending more Vils to the back. In the middle, some javelinas hunted by Vils.
Shot it. Tabish.
And the Eagle wants to attack the fishing ship, but can't quite get there. This is where Fire could garrison the dock and shoot the Eagle. It's actually, if he gets a hit, that's incredibly valuable. Yeah, and 1 HP even. Can matter in a scout fight. TC will shoot too, doesn't hit it though. Running, oh, actually does hit it. That's a total of 4 HP down. Alright, was trying to run perpendicular to the arrow fire, but didn't quite get away. And there's the Javelina lured in by Fire. Should be able to get that successfully. So that'll be of the 9 extra Javelina. I think Fire got, oop, I was going to say he got 4. Or no, he got 3. And then Kasva got 6, but Fire's fish booming. So looking at the res collected, even though Kasva got more of them, and even though he is the Maya with longer lasting hunt, it's not like he's opened up a huge eco lead. These things don't really give you as big of a boost as it might feel like they do from all the effort you put into luring them. I saw enough Zimbabwe in TTL and Stronghold Frenzy to think that luring all the extra rhinos doesn't guarantee you a win. yeah, R-Base, that's the LY, and, what is it, Sorokuma, too. We had Yo, Lix, Vivi, and Sorokuma all in the same second round. Yeah, the LY Invitational bracket. Yeah, just missing bad koala there. That was some bit of randomness. So Watchtower for Fire. He is going forward. Defensive tower from Kasva. Kasva was taking the forward stone. He does have a back stone. Yeah, Koala's kind of alone in his bracket. Well, even then, he had to face a Taiwanese player. He was it Koala Blue in the first round? And Fire, he's walling forward. Look at that. This is the one map, even though it's aggression right from the start, that we might end up running into the 90-minute time limit. And up. Of course, the players forgot to set the time limit in the lobby. I should alt-tab to check. But that is definitely a tough thing to remember. So we will be more on point with reminding them. Yeah, R-Base, when we make all the schedule posts tonight, I think we need to double-check that we have 90-minute time limit bolded. And it won't fix everything, but it might help. Why is there a time limit? We're using the same settings as we're using for the LAN event, and since it is a LAN event, we do need to ensure that the games finish before the venue closes. I don't know if you heard, but at Red Bull, if that had gone to a Game 9 between Hera and Leary, since the AoE 4 set took so long, we were in danger of not being able to finish the finals, because we were about to get kicked out of the venue. Also at the Garrison, from, I believe it was, we finished just in time to get everyone out and clean up, because if we needed to stay in the venue later, then we needed to keep paying the security, but it would have been at a rate of 1 day of security payments per hour that we were there over. So it suddenly gets very expensive. So I don't know exactly what the thing will be at the actual LAN we have in July, but the time limit, no one really likes it, but it is kind of needed for the LAN. Yeah, finals would have been played on our laptop. Yeah, we see another Hera ACCM 4-hour game, and that can really mess up your schedule. Yeah, 50% of the casters turn into a pumpkin at midnight. But this has always been a thing. At the very first Escape Euro Cup we had, what, 10 years ago now? Viper Leary went down to the wire to the point where I think the Age of Empires crew security was literally looking at them trying to kick them out during the final games. You want to see Yo's schedule with Yo? That's what I've always wondered. Is Fire's just running around with scouts and now we'll have a castle drop from Kasva forward. Fire's gonna wall off all the passages though. He's playing this like it's a game of Black Forest that he can just wall off and hope that Lithuanians boom and win late game against the Maya? And I'm not sure how that works, but Fire will have scouts, no upgrades on them, but they will be on the Vils of Kasva trying to drop this tower. It's a great thing that Kasva has that defensive tower nearby since he'll be able to run to it and garrison. And you'll lose a Vil there. And that is rough for Fire to jump that and get maybe only one Vil. I'm sure he wants another one, but forging on the scouts would have made a huge difference. Didn't have it. And he has a nice score lead, And also a nice fish boom going. No fishing for Kasva. Have to go back to play at Nilly's apartment again. Yeah, Nilly's apartment, so we don't get kicked out. And he got one Vil. He got one Vil. One Vil who didn't manage to garrison in the tower. And I think that's it. In his apartment, there's an orchestra there. Oh, did the Vil jump into the tower? I thought he got it. It's hard to see behind it. Oh, and we have plumes, and we have not just plumes, but also a petard. Remember, it only takes one petard to take out a feudal age wall. And a wall is only as strong as its weakest hole. And... oh, here we have a plume and a petard. And this is devastating for Fire, who spent all this time and all this resource walling.
Shot it.
And 2 plumes there. Fire really wants to plug the hole. He can try to use the scouts, but these are plumed archers. Plumes are incredible. Maybe overshadowed by all the new unique units. He's getting the hole filled. Can the scouts kill the plumes? I'd honestly turn and fight the back plume. So plumes are speedy. They have a 1.2 movement speed. Scouts are 1.55. And compare that to a knight, that's 1.35. They're essentially a cav archer that is a tiny bit slower, but doesn't have the fire delay.
Shot it.
And back, if you remember the Conqueror's days, team games were essentially Sling the Maya. Yeah, Plumes, the original Fire Lancer. There's another petard. Fire doesn't quite have the walls up yet. He's doing armor for his scouts. And he does have a tower here helping out in the fight. That's nice. He's somewhat trapped the plumes over here. I don't know that Feudal scouts really can fight plumes. You can try to force Kasva to keep adding in more petards. Plumes killing scouts left and right. And I don't think this is actually walled for Fire. Oh no, the plumes. And this is the downside of walling this map. It might feel like a closed map, but it's actually an open map, especially if you're in Feudal. And Fire still has a score lead from fishing. But I think Kasva is going to destroy a lot with the plumes. They should do some good damage here. Fire's on stone. He might be able to do towers. He could do a market now and buy his way up. Fishing ships can garrison. Fishing ships can garrison, protects them from land units. And there's forging for Fire, trying to upgrade all of his scouts. Might need to do bloodlines if he wants to go scouts, but the gates aren't doing it. And the plumed archer numbers are only growing. They have Bodkin. And Kasva now is doing bowsaw. Could consider doing ballistics, could do another TC. Could dock and make fishing ships, whatever he wants behind this forward pressure. Since when they can garrison? Since the most recent DLC. Not a change that I like, but it's in the game. Since a couple of months. As Ibrace writes.
Shot it.
Plumes kill some Vils. And that gate will go down. The Plumes run through, but the tower gets a couple of kills at least. This is where Plumes can dodge the tower shots and just kill Vils. Alright, Fire probably thinking I've dealt with this enough back when I played AOC. I thought the Plumes were done. But no, the Maya Plumes are still Plumes. Vils, ooh, almost going down to them. Another tower, so good tower from Fire. And did he manage to plug up the hole? I think he did again, but again, only one petard to get through again. And they have 1 armor now, so the scouts won't do as much damage to them. Got their blacksmith upgrade. Yeah, Fire isn't up. Like, if he were up, that'd be one thing. But he's not, and I don't think he even has a market to balance out all that gold he's floating. There we go, there's the market. And Vils come forward, they'll fight this watchtower. That'll be 1, 2, 3 TCs for Kasva. Is there another set today? We will try to cast Turs. Let me try to cast Turs. And there is a GG. Kasva is victorious. So 3-1 for Kasva. Congrats to him. And that was a crazy game. That was a crazy set. But that Lensoy Mariniensis game was really good. Yeah, as I saw the admin channel, Arbase. I saw the ping. Let me finish up here. So what do we have now? In terms of maps, that was a win for Kasva on his home map. And that was the Maya. The Maya against the Lithuanians. And Fire would have had Malay against Vikings for the final map if he had gotten there. So let's just see, is Turs' set still going on? Lobo versus Turs. Looks like they're about to start game 3. So I'm just gonna head right into game number 3 for Lobo versus Turs. And I will spoil the first 2 games. So spoiler alert if you're a Turs fan and you want to watch the Rex yourself later. I'm going to skip the first 2 games. I'm going to join it because it's going on live right now. I'm going to watch the live games. I know Matt Tomsky's in the chat. We definitely have some Turs fans here. So, apologies for the spoiler. Let me go fix the scoreboard. Alright, but get ready because we're going to have some Turs spoilers. Some Turs versus Lobo spoilers. And the score for this. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready, chat? I don't know if you're ready for this score. Marathon, congrats for the energy. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's going to be a lead for, spoiler alert, Lobo up 2-0 over Turs. The scoreboard took a moment to update. It didn't even want to believe it. Arbase, we'll look at the admin chat later. Let me get these drafts going, and they are about to start game 3. Lewis looking for the result, too. So we'll see if Turs can pull the reverse sweep. Let me check the maps. So Araucarius, that was won by Lobo. And according to the dashboard. Here, let me just get ads out of the way before we hop into anything. And according to the dashboard, we had the Civs, and the next map after that was Sertau. And the first game was Hindustanis. Ooh, Hindustanis. Over Malay. And then it was Lithuanians over Georgians. And game number 3 in 20 seconds will be Valle de Silva. And I hope you like the Maya because Turs has picked them again. And can we do green versus purple as colors? Enjoy the interesting colors. But very interesting colors. So here we go. Lobo will be the purple Khitans to the northwest. Turs the green Maya to the southeast. Giant massive ads. I'm sorry for the ads. Twitch makes me play 3 minutes per hour on my channel. So I try to keep them between the games or during the dark age as much as I can. Yeah, you gotta do the... You can always hop over to the Onamaru stream. Maybe the ads are timed differently and hop between the 2 streams. So, Lobo, I guess this is technically Turs is the higher seed due to tournament rankings. Lobo does actually have the higher elo here, 2580 to 2542. Trying to pull off a clean sweep against Turs here. in game number 3. First 2 games, Lobo won, and here he's Catans versus Maya. A matchup where individually, I feel that the Catans can deal with the Maya in unit composition. They got extra attack step lancers for eagles. They have faster producing skirms for crossbows. But in the whole combination, the cheap crossbows for the Maya, they get huge numbers against the low pierce armor of steppies. The good Holcher Javelineers for Maya skirms. Maybe they're okay. This really comes down to the eco management. Did I enjoy? I did enjoy Red Bull, yes. Yes, I did. Now, if you didn't see me there, you can always come join us at the Brazil land this July. Why is he teasing the port to pier? He wants to maximize the efficiency of vills under the TC by minimizing the decay of the animals. So here's another deer getting pushed in. And don't forget about the camel trebs. Let's not forget about camel trebs. Maybe they're the secret answer to plumes we've been waiting for this whole time. But anyway, Lobo and Turs both doing the thing on the map that I'm not so sure of, pushing the deer in the middle instead of scouting for the capybaras on the side. Is that where we're eating a deer 2 tiles away? It's okay, our base. The pier is at the right spot. I heard that France is switching from using Windows to Linux. I'm happy for them if they are. But I don't think an entire country is going to swap at the same time. maybe the government offices somehow. I don't know. Lobo's woodlands spawned kind of awkwardly here. Over here might have been the good lumber camp location, but the rock kind of runs up next to it. It is true. Wow, that is amazing for them. Congrats. They're making their own replacement for office products. Interesting. So Feudal Age for Turs will be a minute later than that for Lobo. 22 vills. Could this potentially be an FC from Turs? With extra capybaras that last longer, he won't need farms. But he doesn't really have the res to FC. He doesn't have gold. 22 vills feels really slow. He doesn't have a barracks. What is he doing here? He can't wall this. Does Turs know that you can't wall this? And Fork, thank you for raiding Onamaru's channel. Welcome in, everyone. This is our last set of the day. Potentially our last game if Lobo is able to pull off a clean sweep here. I don't understand this walling from Turs. Didn't really scout all that well. Could have walled over here and been much safer than leaving a 1-tile gap. Third to last game. You believe in Turs, I see. So Turs almost up. So is he just going to sell the stone for an FC? There's a barracks. What's he going to FC into? He doesn't have any sneak vills on stone for a castle. Archery range for Turs. He's not going to need a farm for a while. And Oshova, thank you for the follow. Also, again, reminder to go follow the Team Onamaru channel. Thanks for giving them some support. Eagle hitting the scout. As the scouts are chased away by the spears. And Sunny1 AW2, thank you for the follow. And look at all these capybaras. This is how I think you want to play the map. Extra capybaras. And the Maya will have longer lasting extra capybaras. And deleted 83. Thank you for the follow. And will the scouts get into this hole? Will they get into that hole? Turs. The scouts are going to get in, aren't they? I think they are. Yes, they are. Oh no, Turs, you could have just walled here. You'd be safe. But the scouts are in. Scouts are in. And Turs can thank Doubt for pointing out that the diagonals could be walled in the earlier version of the map. I'm not sure what he expected. And he's just a bit of scouting and he's fine. I mean, maybe players need to learn they need to scout the edges of the wood lines here to wall better. Britons would be great. Yep, we did see Britons. Jordan picked them for Pantanal, another map with lots of extra herd. That's a land nomad map, though. We've seen Tatars picked here. I think Britons would be another good pick. I forget if I've seen them on that. On this map before.
Tabish.
A few archers coming forward. The spear will go to poke the scout away. Waiting for players / game paused.
Shot it.
Turs, no, you can see, it's 3 tiles a wall. Is he doing this on purpose? Does he want to funnel scouts into spears? Is he just trying to make a trap for Lobo to run down? Tatars with no hills, Tatars for longer lasting capybaras. To be fair though, you can maybe get enough capybaras that they last forever anyway.
Tabish.
Yeah, but people asking for other civ picks for the map, and Tatars and Britons came up because of the capybaras. I mean Onamaru Tato now. That's what I mean, Tripta. So, fletching and town watch for Lobo. Not playing this as an FC. He's a bit more successful in walling himself, choosing one half of the rock terrain to wall himself on. I wonder what a capybara tastes like. Everyone in chat tells me they're too cute to eat. We did see Britons picked a couple of times, but not used. What was that in, I think, Goku versus Lix earlier? He went Armenians rather than Britons, but I think Britons probably would have been a better civ matchup against the Wei, too. Well, Tur's almost up to the castle age, and that's what I was thinking from Tur's. Faster castle, but wheelbarrow for Lobo. And Lobo will have to deal with lots of Maya crossbows. Double range crossbows. Tur's, despite the awkwardness of the walls, will finally get up and have longer lasting gold in the back of his walls because of being the Maya. Should then be able to secure the front gold. Hasn't moved out to the sides yet. Just one spear out there. Looks like he forgot about it. And he's coalescing more archers together. Now things get awkward for Lobo, who needs to find a way up to the castle age. Turz actually didn't even sell the stone he had. So that was a weird, not fast castle, but still fast castle build. I have a siege workshop forward for Turz. Still building it. Apparently crocs don't eat capybaras. Well, Turz does. Another TC up for Turz. So he's expanding forward into the middle. Still, at least he has some scouting of the middle from when he picked up all those capybaras. As he moves forward, he'll find Lobo walled. Lobo didn't scout quite as much on the sides. Crossbows defend the vills away. And castle age for Lobo. Another watchtower for Lobo. Maybe the Crocs just keeping them under their TC to eat later. Well, Castle Age there, Turz will move forward with Mangonels. And despite all the pressure, feels like Turz has managed to defend himself well enough to get good Mangonel numbers and push the TC. Monk's behind this too, with a second TC. Feels like Turz is starting to force a game number 4. And we said we were worried about scheduling. We'll see if Torres will play super late into the night and try to force a full 5-game set for us. And hello, Epic Sea Dragon. Crossbow's not quite able to get in. Now, Lobo does need to make sure he repairs the TC so that he can get up to the castle age, but also important to make sure he buys time to get elite skirm to fend off the crossbows. And one range faster producing skirms. He has a lot of food and wood to spend on skirms. And still worried about the TC. Maybe he needs space to do a workshop in the back. Elite skirm Bodkin, the obvious choice for him. But he's against 3 mangonels. And how does he deal with that? Steppy is probably not the best choice for sniping them off with all the crossbows there. Could Lightcav be the answer? Crossbow's giving chase, but against the skirms, might not want to take the fight. The TC is down though. Lobo now is 0 TC gaming. And looks like this is going to head for game 4. Unless Lobo takes an insanely good fight. But maybe he can if the crossbows get too far ahead of the mangonels and the Lightcav can snipe them from the rear. That might be what's about to happen. And oh, it's not, as the Lightcav go down to a mangonel shot. And Turs has to be careful with the skirms. And with 2 TCs versus 0, he doesn't need to take a fight here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't die to Lobo. And he'll be good to force the next game. I did use Kaimans in one of the maps. Ooh, skirm's going down. And there's a GG from Lobo, and Turs will take a game. We'll keep the stream going. Almost 10 hours, not long enough. It's Uxmal, that is his team. Uxmal is his team. That's the UX in his name by the score. Vamos Turs. Skip the Turs losses to see the Turs wins, right? Yeah, that is his Uxmal team. And there's Turs taking a win on Lobo's first home map. Oh, and Lobo picked the barrel map. Oh my gosh, he picked the barrel map. Lobo could give us the most wonderful, not seen map yet. That's Maya over the Khitans. Oh my gosh, Lobo, do it. Be the hero we need. Pick the map. Pick Festa da Polvora for us. Please, please, we get Turs on this map if you pick it. And we don't see the losses. They don't exist. Is that the rule? And he did it. He did it. Mongols versus Vietnamese will be the matchup. Vietnamese, I think, usually a good civ against Mongols. But this is the map. Explosive gunpowder barrels were added in the patch with the DLC. And I needed to make a map with them because once I saw them, I couldn't not make a map with them. And this is the result. There'll be tons of gunpowder barrels scattered about. You destroy them, you open huge holes in the walls. Berbers would be better? I don't know about that. I think Vietnamese are really good against Mongols. Kind of depends on the map, though. This map is a blast. Lorheyan, I think, played a few practice games on it, whereas Tur's from Germany. So it's just about midnight for him. Maybe when the clock strikes midnight, he gains superpowers. And plays Age of Empires even better. A mind-blowing pun. Hello, Froggy Frog Frog. At midnight, his inner nerd comes out. And here we go. Turs versus Lobo. Thank you, Lobo, for picking this as a home map and selecting to play it. This map is covered with these gunpowder kegs. I lowered their HP from 75 to 60, and I increased their blast width from 3.25 to 3.75, which is a bit larger than that. 3.25 is that of a heavy demo. So you destroy one of these barrels, and you open a hole into your enemy's base. And you start out, it's a 9-vil start with 3 groups of 3 vils, one in a food base, one by your TC, and one over by the golden stone. Players often just rearrange them and bring them over to the other bases. Maybe I should have made this more permanent. We've seen a few cases where players lure the javelinas to their TCs. They can go around the back, around the front. Players have gotten creative with it. And so there are gunpowder barrels in the back, and also in the front. In the front of the side bases, only in the back of all the bases. So the main base has them in the back, side bases have them in the back and in the front. You destroy them, the wall gets destroyed. They also have 95 melee attack, and then 280 attack versus buildings. And looks like Turs is going to Rage Forest style lure a couple of javelinas around the back into the main base, deleting a fortified palisade for it. Also, we have the Fort Gate. Stronger than a palisade gate, we modified the stats for it, 1,000 hit points, as part of the fortified palisade wall. Can you pick them up and move them like relics? No. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Imagine that your swordsman line could pick up and move the barrels and stack them somewhere. That would be great. It's originally, I think, 4,000 hit points. It was from a campaign. And usually we just use palisade gates or stone gates because there wasn't a fortified palisade wall. But now there's almost a fortified palisade gate. So, a petard's job. Yeah, pick up the petard. have a cheap petard that doesn't have a barrel. Ooh, that could be great. A villager picks up the barrel and becomes a petard. Anyway, they are scattered about the map. You destroy them to get through your opponent's walls. Can you destroy them yourself? Well, villagers can't attack them, so you're not going to do it in the Dark Age. And you're probably not going to sacrifice a man-at-arms to destroy it. It has 8 pierce armor, so it takes a concerted effort from archers to destroy them. And Turs is trapped. Lobo traps him in the secondary base with a palisade. And low HP scout, now Lobo will just chase that scout around until killing it. Yes, the spear dies if the spear destroys it. You can weaken it with melee units, and melee units do a lot more damage than ranged units. So you could weaken it with melee units, then pull a bunch back and destroy it. Maybe sacrifice 1 unit, or let archers finish it off. And Turs, I'm going to lose his scout soon. Lobo doesn't want to pull Vils to fight and get idle time, but he'll get as much damage as he can. And then Feudal Age just clicked for Turs. On this map, is it a fast castle map? Is it a fast feudal map? I don't know. This is the first real game I've seen. Andy played against Young Panda there, but that was around 1,000 elo difference. So here we actually have maybe a more competitive high-level game on it. Also, they're on the outsides of your wall, so you'd have to go outside to destroy them. And Turs loses the scout, so he now doesn't know what Lobo's up to. And he's going forward. Maybe we will have a forward, along with some militia. What is the range of these? As I said, 3.75 blast width. So you destroy one, and it opens up a pretty big hole in the walls. It'll probably destroy 5+ tiles of palisade, depending on where exactly it is near the wall. So it's rather difficult to re-wall behind it, because the buildings you use to re-wall also get hit by the splash damage. So it is pretty darn strong. I made them a bit easier to destroy, and with a bit more blast width than they were in our show matches. So here we go with men-at-arms. Turs just going to attack the wall. Turs playing this the boring way, attacking the wall. Attacking the Dark Age wall with Vils, and he will tower rush. The tower could shoot it and destroy it. Turs, build the tower 1 tile away and then shoot the barrels. Doubt misclicks 10 scouts to attack the kegs instead of the walls, loses all. Wouldn't be surprising from Doubt. Oh, he's weakening it. He's weakening the barrel with the man-at-arms, forcing the walls in the back from Lobo. Will the barrels destroy the tower from here? Will he just get in? I don't think he's in. He's actually in. He doesn't need to do it. Well, Lobo didn't wall enough. He didn't even need to see the barrel. Well, that's a fast castle attempting to re-wall against men-at-arms now. And Turs can set up his boom however pleasantly he wants, with no harassment as he keeps pushing here. Putting 5 of these in a Mongol's drill ram and zooming it forward. That is definitely an unfortunate how. Oh my gosh, Turs, the archer auto-attacking the barrel, I think. Yeah, now that it's in Feudal, it gets armor, but it also has an archer attacking it. So defensive tower now from Lobo. But he had to spend a good bit of time defending this. I support the green player. I support the player who's trying to use... Oh, no loom either. No loom for Lobo. Oh, that was a risk to get a 1 HP villain, no loom, trying to wall against an archer. That's true. Froggy Frog supports the green player, the frog-colored player. So where does Turs go now? Defensive tower for Lobo. Well, what if he just attacks the barrels and then opens a hole in the wall and runs in anyway? Tower's not going to stop Turs from getting in from the front. Maybe Turs needs to go around the back. Maybe I need to open passageways from the front to the back here, so you can go forward to backwards more easily. Yeah, it takes quite a few arrows to get through with archers, but it'll get through eventually. I'd be careful with those men-at-arms there, Turs. Don't worry about the barrel. Yeah, so this isn't going to do anything. Those walls are not going to do anything for Lobo. Careful with the archer positioning, Turs. They might take some splash damage there. Yeah, they did. Got a bit too close, but that is a big hole in the walls now. And Turs, he sees the tower, doesn't want to run in. Besides, thinks better of it. Yep, Doubt did win, yes. And Lobo trying to re-wall? Now Turs is there, he's about to get fletching. Oh, he didn't have fletching. That's less range on the archers. They took some damage there, they took some splash damage. He's not killing any vills without fletching, though. Now fletching's in. Now you get 5 archers with fletching, he should be able to kill vills. He's gonna push into the main base now. He's gonna push into the main base. This map is pure chaos. So far, players have been avoiding it. It is definitely not a standard map, and it will be chaotic. And Blacksmith getting hit by men-at-arms. That should go down pretty quickly. Is there arson in for Turs? No arson yet. So some players are gonna like this. I bet some players have hidden strats for it. They're saving up their knowledge of it. Turs is just saying, I'll delete all my walls myself. I don't need the barrels to delete them for me. Also, lots of hunt, so nice eco boost for the Mongols. If Lobo had wanted to fast castle, that's not happening, and Turs is far ahead in uptiming. I really like the way it looks. We did put quite a bit of effort into theming it and getting the circular bases set up. And also this rock terrain on the outside, so you can't wall to the edge of the map. And yeah, no gates on the side, so going in and out has to be deleting. It's always a choice. Which I kind of like. I kind of like the fact that it's a bit awkward to go in and out of the bases. Yeah, oh, here we are. Turs in the back, Where does he want to go? Oh, wait, this is overchopped. Doesn't even need to destroy the barrels. The thing is, too, when you attack the barrels, they're Gaia units, so you don't get an announcement that you're under attack. They just get blown up, and then you're suddenly on your own. So wheelbarrow for Lobo, that might save his vills when Turs comes in. And Turs is up to the castle age. Will Lobo notice the hole in the wall? He's up. Turs coming around. And horse collar for Turs. Men-at-Arms being cleaned by spears. They're low HP. But if that's... Oh, Turs, it's open! You don't need to do this. You'll do it anyway. No one's gonna notice. Do they destroy stone walls? I don't think so. It's the wrong thing. 280, so no. But Turs is in. Lobo... Oh, no, he didn't notice. He didn't notice. This is more fun than just walking through the hole. Oh, now he's noticed. He has a couple weak vills there. They only feudal archers, though, but that's one down. Will Turs notice the weak ones? Oh, he doesn't notice the weak ones. Ooh, big mistake by Turs there. I think he could have killed 4 vills, but he gets 2. Lobo struggling now. He's up to the castle age. It looks like Turs is going to force a game 5 based on this early success. Going through the walls, going through the barrels. Nice damage from it. Yeah, the skirms come over, so Turs is going to run. He has another base he can get into, but not much he can do. 5 vills stuck in a tower. Maybe he'll win the tower fight, though. Where's Lewis at? This is Lobo's home map, too. But you're right, banning for the rest of the tournament. Maybe the skirms can hunt down the archers, though, before they become crossbows. They have a nice pursuit line going. Yeah, this will be good for Lobo. All the archers going down. Well, Turs did some damage. Were 2 vills and some idle time worth it? That's rough, just as Bodkin and Crossbow were coming in. The Onamaru category. Oh, Tripta, you're a mod. Can you change that with the Nightbot from podcasts to AoE 2? And maybe the title. The Nightbot commands for changing that should work. That's right, it was correct earlier in the day, but then they did their podcast. I don't think Nego reset to the title. Yeah, thanks, Tripta. So Elite Skirm and Bodkin for Lobo. Yeah, the only way to stop it, you could stonewall behind. You could also destroy your own barrels and rewall. There's a TC from Lobo. And DChem, thank you for the follow. Ooh, these crossbows are going to run into skirms again. Also, the barrels have 8 pierce armor, so if you get to Imp, you blow them up more easily when your arbs have 10 attack. Or Cav archers even more attack. Mangonels, I think, take 2 shots to destroy them. But you could, in the mid-game, when you see vills from your enemy mining on the gold, destroy the barrels and kill a whole bunch of vills. And Mangonel just barely too late, attacking the tower. Here comes some skirms. Vietnamese, I think, are still a good late-game save against the Mongols, and here we have a castle. Ooh, Mongols in the castle age really don't like fighting Rattan archers. They need drill siege to deal with it, and even then, the Vietnamese have bombard cannon with siege engineers. I don't think you're gonna afford siege onagers. Do rams have a bonus? No, they do not. Just melee and pierce, so no, you can't ram them. That would be silly. Amazing, but silly. Thank you, Tripta. Yeah, you can ram them, just takes a while. We've been streaming for 10 whole hours. We gotta go 2 more days, too. Hope you all have been enjoying the streams. I'm glad we're getting good viewer numbers for this. There's another workshop for Lobo. That's actually a good question, because vills can't attack them. Maybe there's something else that can't. Well, Turs has been under no pressure so far, and he's booming. He actually has a better boom. 2 TCs to 3 for Turs. Ooh, explosive barrels on the edge of Turs' base, though. The skirms don't even need them to get in. They can just walk in through the hole. Turs not noticing. Turs not noticing. Oh, my title says Fire versus Kasva? Thank you. Forgot to change that. I can change that. It's the Turs versus Lobo. You gotta put Turs in the title. Everyone loves Turs. As Mangonels trade off against each other. And now Turs is pushing the workshop, trying to push the base with 2 TCs. He was raiding her early in the back. I don't think TCs would auto-target them. That would be cool if it did. That might be a disaster if it does. Ooh, Mangonel. This is where Lobo can out-Mangonel Turs. 10 archers on spread formation. No easy repairs with the low HP Vil. Repairville down, but then some Mangonel shots landing on the skirms. Elite skirm for Turs. His Mangonels are going down, though. Mangonel the barrel, Turs. Mangonel the barrel. I don't know how much that would do. I hope he Mangonels it. Oh, that's true. TC fire if your opponent walks past it. There are 3 relics in the middle, and then 1 relic on either side between the players. So Turs can get at most 3 from taking the presence in the middle. Has a good eco lead, though, with his boom. Bit of idle time for him now. No wheelbarrow, but he does have bowsaw and heavy plow. So a TC up for Lobo. Yeah, lose that. That's one way to turn games around. Mangonel micro. And 3K more res collected for Tur. Oh, that worries me. That worries me, putting his army by the gunpowder cake like that. And picking up his 2nd relic. Where's the 3rd relic? Is it behind a building somewhere? Oh, there he is, in his hands. Okay, just making sure the map's not bugged. Bit of a long day? Just a bit. 10 hours in. Turs is trying to make me go even longer. Not for a bit. See you later, Tripta. I need some dinner soon, too. I need to get to the gym tonight, too. And then also fix some maps. When the stream started, our base was still in London. And he's taking his train home. Well, imagine the tower. Oh, wait. Oh, imagine that tower could reach that barrel there. Imagine the tower could reach the barrel. Tors would have lost so much. Baron dipped after 4.5 hours. Baron's back, though. And ballistics for Turs. Turs has to be careful. He's going to run out of gold, but there always is a gold and a stone in the corner with some papayas, so you can head out there for resources. Mangonel down. Oh, the Mangonel should have tried to hit the barrels there. Players need to get better at shooting the barrels, I think, when they're low. And 6 Vil difference, but still a big res lead for Turs. The scores are super close. And I still think Vietnamese are a tough matchup for Mongols. Oh, wait, what's this? What's this? Barrels? Barrels? Lobo, you want to go in? Raid some farms? Destroy some barrels? Wait. Oh my gosh, Lobo just needs to wait for Turs to chase him and then destroy the barrels. Lobo, use the barrels. Please use them. Use them. Shoot the barrels. Lobo, shoot the barrels now. He's right there. Do it. Lobo, no. Oh, well, he's worried about getting a castle in the middle. He's got Vils to micro. He's microing against some Mangonels. Turs trying to win with some Mangonel micro now. Do a barrel roll. It could be epic. Instead, he's trying to out-micro Mangonels with rattan archers. And this castle looks like it's going up, so Turs could lose Mangonels once it does go up. 1 Mangonel left. I think he used Zolt for the follow. And Mangonels go down. Out here, looks like Lobo won the fight anyway, and he'll get in without even needing the assistance of the barrels. That's a barrel he could blow up. And Imperial Age for Turs. Turs clicking up. Ballistics for Lobo, who takes a score lead. And be able to resist the barrels. This is another map that I think plays completely differently in a community tournament than it does in a pro tournament. And Vil's going down to the rattan archers, into the skirms. Yeah, I was thinking about lowering the pierce armor from 8 to 5. I think that'll still be a good change in the future. I don't want to make balance changes during the event, but I think it would be better to make them destroyed more easily. I already lowered the HP, but I think a bit lowering of the armor could be good. Oh, that's a low HP barrel. The Rattan should have shot it. Oh. And Turz needs to get a castle somewhere if he's gonna go up to Imp. I like how units don't auto-attack them either. And Raid comes in here. And Lobo will not be quite cleaned up. Turz trying to micro one skirm, but the skirm goes down. So there it is. There's that Mongol castle, but the Rattan archers are there. Rattan archers are there. The impressive thing is my internet hasn't dropped out at all during this. I'm maintaining 3 streams for most of it. They do kill Vils, yes. They do 95 melee damage. So, I mean, a Paladin will withstand the blast. Maybe I should increase the damage. How's he managed to catch up in Vils? 3 TCs while pressuring Turz. Look at that idle time for Turz. Turz will be Imp first, and he'll be able to make Trebs right away. Monk here to heal stuff up. Turz up to Imp. This is where you start taking the resources in the middle. The barrels become valuable again. Especially once you get all those attack upgrades and destroy them more quickly in Imp. Spanish, but also Mongols. I think you could also make an argument for maybe Byzantines or Italians with the uptiming and Treb Wars. So 3 castles, lots of ranges, Imp Skirm plus Rattan Archer. Going to be the play for Lobo. Also have to remember, you can raid around the outside. With all the wood lines and the rock terrain, it is kind of hard to fit farms in. What is the blast width? It is 3.75 tiles. Or, for reference, that is half a tile larger than a heavy demo ship. As in, let's see. We don't have... The walls have been patched up where they were destroyed earlier. Otherwise, I'd show you the remnants of one. So lots of repairs on the castle. Only 1 castle for Turz. As Lobo will need more Trebs and more Bombard Cannon. Yeah, I think it does taper off. It does taper off. It's not all damage at the same time. What confuses me is it also says it has 3.3 range, and I don't know what the range is. I don't know what the range is for. The blast width, yes, that makes sense. The range, I don't know. And if they belong to players, they could delete them. That'd be sick. I didn't even think about that. Can I spawn barrels as player objects? Because you can delete them if you swap to the Gaia player and press delete. But Treb War here for Turz, trying to get the 3rd Treb into position. Keep hearing Turks instead of Turz. Oh man. And kind of counting on Bombard Cannon. Well, they do get 1 Treb. This is where Mangudai could counter Cannon. But okay, this is it, Turz. Please, Turz. Can you Treb the barrel? Treb the barrel, Turz. Just do it, Turz. Attack the barrel, please. Barrel, Turz. The Vils are running. The Vils are running. Oh, he missed his chance. Missed his chance. You know, forward. Another castle for Turz on the outside. Bit of a Rattan Archer versus skirmish in the back, trying to keep Turz off of gold. Can the Trebs even hit that barrel? I don't know. Forging, chain barding armor, bloodlines, or a bombard cannon shot on that gunpowder cake. 16 HP left. Now, I mean, we're getting to Imp Rattan archers. Do we have any left? 14 of them. 10 attack, they can do double damage to the barrels now. 2 damage to the barrels instead of 1 per arrow. Oh, the barrels are getting kind of weak. Castle will go down for Turz. I think Lobo just has the civ advantage at this point. And he's able to pick off a Treb. A bunch of skirms near the barrel. Just waiting for someone to use the barrels. That Treb's gonna go down, though. There it goes. Some light cav for Turz as he tries to unpack the Trebs to give them more Pierce armor. Bombard cannon from the side 2 attacking the Trebs. And I think the cannon should win it now. No Mangudai for Turz. No Mangudai at all. Trip goes down, more Vills dying on the castle. Okay, Imp Skirm would be kind of amazing here. Castle goes down. There'll be another castle here for Lobo. Yeah, now I think the Mongols die. I think that Vietnamese-Mongols is a great matchup for the Vietnamese when you get to the late game. And Turs is going to lose all 5 of his relics. Ooh, Turs might have had a chance with 5 relics, but not anymore. Where factions can have Imp Skirm, every faction, aside from Turks, can have Imp Skirm. You just gotta have a Vietnamese teammate. You just gotta be friends with ACCM. And Turs trying to hold on, but I think Lobo is gonna pull off the victory here. Pushing into Turs' base with the Skirms, taking the relics for himself. Turs will delete all the walls. I don't need barrels to get rid of walls, thinks Turs as he summons the 3 light calf he has for a charge feudally into the Imperial skirmishers. And the cannon take out the rest of his skirms. Team games don't count. I'll start counting again this year. We'll have our Vitality, Onamaru, LY Wonders showdowns. As a GG from Turs, and Lobo does it. Picking the explosive barrel map for us. Congrats to Lobo for the map pick. And Turs tried to use it. Used the barrels a couple of times. But at the end of the day, Vietnamese will beat Mongols in Imp, and you can see that based on Turs' army count in Imp. So there we go. Turs had a better eco for a long time, but couldn't quite use the boom for anything. So that will definitely be it for me. 10 hours and 15 minutes. I think that's enough. I don't need to look at the admin channel anymore because that solves our scheduling issue. With Lobo winning 3-1 over Turs. And that's Vietnamese over Mongols. So, thank you all very much for watching. We'll, for the second time, end the stream on Onamaru today. And we'll go raid someone. We'll be back tomorrow. Let me go check out what the schedule is. I have the schedule in the Discord. And scheduled matches will be starting tomorrow at 12 GMT. Leary will be playing one of the final games of this set. And then we'll have the second round starting at 14 GMT. Don't know if I'll cast Leary because that'll be very one-sided, but at 14 GMT definitely I'll be live. So, thank you all very much for watching. It's 10 AM for me. Let's hope I can wake up in time. 13 GMT, our base is playing in TTLC. That won't be streamed on the Onamaru channel, but definitely by 14 GMT we'll be live. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.